In this life, right here, right now, you can be a kid again. Okay, I'm recording now. 2, 1, 2, test 1, 2. Do a backup video record. What if I told you that you can be a kid again in this lifetime? You can play in that wonderful imagination again. You can go back and bring those big dreams you once had as a kid. Creativity and playfulness bursts in your life, reigniting passions and inspirations that you had once as a child. And this can be true for every single person watching this video. But one thing must be done first, and only you can do it. Your inner child is waiting for that fire to be put out, which is burning deep within inside of you right now. Just a quick heads up before we get into the slides in this video. I've included the link to all of these slides in the video description down below, so you can follow along a bit more clearly and see the text, and you can zoom in and follow along with me. So let's get to it. So first, let's have a look at layers of trauma. My ongoing journey with healing Binny, my inner child, has been so liberating. Going back and peeling these layers hasn't been easy. It's been tough. Like, going back and revisiting all these traumas is quite deep, right? It's been so worth it. But we must walk into the room to put the fire out, right? I know it's tough. I know we try to avoid things from our past, but we must confront them to heal them. And this is the point of this healing journey of peeling back the layers of trauma, right? Most of us are unaware of what is locked inside of us. Emotions and memories which have been shut down forever. They're stored within us because our inner child did not know how to process any of these emotions and memories, right? We weren't allowed to express these emotions. We were seen as being problematic when we were trying to express ourselves, and we just get shut down by the adults in our lives. You didn't know how to express them, and you were never taught how to express these emotions inside of you as a child. Our parents weren't taught how to deal with their emotions. So it's been a generational thing over and over again, where our parents weren't taught and their parents weren't taught. So everyone's emotions and traumas just got shut down. So we've all been walking around with wounded inner childs, right? But it's time to break the cycle now. It's time to heal ourselves. And as we heal ourselves, we heal the past. We heal the future. We heal all generations that come ahead of us and which have come before us. So, what is peeling these traumas? Peeling these traumas, if you have a look at this diagram, say this is you, but inside of your core, you've got many layers, right? This is Binny. I've got a core layer that is deep inside of me. Well, I've got a core layer which is deep inside of me. So Binny is within my core of within myself, my inner child, right? And each layer has emotions and memories. And this is what healing is. It starts to peel back all of these traumas, all these memories, all these emotions. You start going back and peeling back all the layers, and you use the fire extinguisher to put the fires out, right? The outer skin of this onion is this physical body of how we act in the world, us as adults, how we interact with people and situations. That's the outer skin. But internally, there's fires going on. Internally, our inner child has been left to deal with them trapped emotions and memories. They're locked away, but they affect us on our day-to-day lives because we never got to express them. We never got to release them out of the body, because at the end of the day, what is stuck emotion is stuck energy. If you've gone through a traumatic thing and you've not been allowed to express it, you've shut it inside of you and you hold it. And this is what causes disease in the body. We're holding on to trapped emotions and trauma in our mind. We just shut it down. So this is what it means of layers of trauma. we must start peeling back the layers, just like an onion. Peel it away. And then you get back to your core. You get back to your true essence, your inner child, and the fires are being put out. Also, we must remember that trapped emotions are felt. They are in the heart, right? We keep memories in the heart and we keep memories in the mind. But together, we have an emotional connection to that memory, and then we have an actual memory of the event. But they both need to be healed. Most of the time, when we go to a psychiatrist or mental health professionals, they're just dealing with the mental side of things. They're just dealing with the events. But the emotional side still needs to be released. And that is what healing is. Healing is dealing with the mental memories and the emotional release of the body. So we must address both to do true healing, to overcome these mental issues and these traumas and all of these blocks that you experience in your life, right? I suffered from mental issues in the past, but it was all from the mind. I was stuck in my mind. I was stuck in my ego. I thought, yes, this is me and these are all my things that was going on in my head. But mental health is basically you are unhealed. If you're suffering from any mental health issues, then it basically means that we're wounded. We've got trapped emotions. We need to heal our emotional body. We need to heal the emotional body and the mental body, right? I suffered for years in my mind. I suffered for years with mental conditions. Only until I went on to this healing journey that I was able to come back to my true self and come into alignment with who I truly am and be at peace and be at balance. I've never felt this balanced in the whole existence of my life. So this is how powerful healing is, and peeling back all the traumas, not just dealing with the mental issues, we must deal with the emotional body as well. Next slide. Our inner child folder controls our current life. But what does that mean? This means that before we come into this earth, we're divine source energy. We descend into this physical realm as divine beings. We are fractal of the one source consciousness. We are fractal, we are spirit, right? And as that core self comes in, a baby is born. A baby is born, which is us. We are the baby. We are a divine being. We are a baby in a physical manifestation of the one source energy. And we come in as a human form. Our human form is the avatar, right? Our child, the child we come in, is a human avatar. It's the child avatar of the core spirit, the essence, to embody that core self, right? And what happens when we come in? We come in and a folder is created. So the core self comes in and then a folder is created around it. The folder created around it is the inner child. It's you as a baby, right? We call it the inner child folder, the human child avatar, whatever you want to call it. So here's Binny here and he's got his folder. It's ready. You have a childlike essence because you're connected to the core, right? And then you have this innocence of you because you're a child, you're a divine being. You've got no impressions of the world. You've got no impressions of anybody from the outside. So you've got this childlike innocence. You play in your imagination. Everything is brand new to you. You're just searching and you're working out things, and it's so creative. Like you're being creative, you're being playful, and you're just present in the joys of life. And then you have these big dreams. As a child, you dream big and you have this imagination, and you can just imagine this pen being a magic broomstick. That's the imagination of a child, an innocent child. And then you have these passions. As you grow up, these folders of child essence, innocence, imagination, big dreams and your passions, these folders within your inner child folder start getting infiltrated by mental traumas, by emotional traumas, by judgment, criticism, and be realistic programs from the outside world. Society, education, family, and people have an influence on your folders. They start programming and telling you and showing you how the world works, and this is who you are, and you need to be realistic. that's not a big dream, that's not a real job. And your inner child folder starts programming these beliefs, and it starts taking on them as its own beliefs, right? And this is what happens. From 0 to 7, your inner child has created all of these attachments and created all these files within itself. And then the ego identity is created. From the age of 7, you're no longer a child, you are an ego now. And it's a personality. The personality is created. The imagination, the big dreams, the passions, they've been dropped to the side because the world has told you who you are. You are this person. This is your worldview now. This is how you see yourself in the world. From the age of 7 onwards, you take on this as your ego identity, right? And then you become your adult self. But we need to understand one thing, that the current state of our lives is a direct reflection of the traumas we carry internally. Our addictions, our unconscious habits, the way we see ourselves in the world, the way we interact with other people, and the way we see other people are all being filtered through the eyes of this wounded inner child. That's our filter. How we act through these addictions and all this stuff, this is all coming from the wounded inner child, because this folder is the core of us. This folder has the access to the core self, because the core self is first, then our inner child folder, and then the rest of the adult. So we must go and address what is going on here. And desperately, your inner child is desperately waiting to be acknowledged again, because your inner child had all these things, but they're locked away. They've been locked by all of these programs, these traumas, this judgment, the criticism, the be realistic programs. All of these ideas from other people have been impressed on you, so you just shut it down. You're like, okay. So you're not acknowledging yourself anymore. You've just become an ego identity for what the outside world believes who you are. So certain things we do experience in our life. Do you experience not being acknowledged by others? If that is the case, it's because you are not acknowledging yourself. Not being loved or respected by others. It's because you haven't learned to love and respect yourself. Not being valued by others. It's because you haven't acknowledged your value, your self-worth. These things that we seek on the outside world, that this person doesn't love me, this person doesn't value me, it's because we haven't learned to value ourselves. We've shut down our inner child. We haven't acknowledged them for so many years. But it's time to go back and acknowledge that inner child that still lives within inside of us. It has the control to our current life. I want to give you an example now. Oh my God. Okay, so let me give you one more example on this slide. So imagine your core self and your inner child. It has the core operating system, right? The folder access comes straight to the core of an operating system, like a computer. You have a core folder that sits on the operating system, and all the applications sit after the core folder. Your inner child has the access to the core folder. Now, you as an adult want to install a new application. You have a goal. You have X, Y, and Z. You want to do this and that in your life in the future. You want to do all these things. So you want to install an application on the operating system. We have an operating system on our mind. We have goals, and we're moving towards something. So as you install this application on the core operating system, it gets rejected. It gets rejected because it's not in line with the current system values. It's not in line with what your inner child believes. The inner child beliefs control everything in your life right now. So if your current beliefs do not match your inner child beliefs, your current goals are not going to work. Your current goals are constantly going to be blocked because Your inner child holds the core beliefs. So we must get the inner child back on board. We must heal and go back and make them understand that this belief that you hold now is limited. This belief is no longer serving us now. So you go back, you reprogram the core folder of the inner child, and you both balance out, and then your new programs can be installed. Your goals and your applications for your future can be fixed. Is it recording? How to access your inner child folder. How do we do it? We basically need to be conscious. We need to become conscious first. Conscious attention and intention. You need to be conscious of your attention. And then you need to create an intention of what you want to do. Your intention is to access your inner child folder. So we must come with consciousness first, have the attention, and then have the intention to access it, right? Acknowledgement of wanting to do this loads up a search feature within yourself. Within yourself, like an operating system, you have acknowledged that you want to do this thing. So a search button pops up within yourself, and then you have the ability to start searching for files and folders within your subconscious mind. You've said, I intend to want to know more about my inner child folder, the blocks, the traumas and all that stuff. So you set the intention, and now your subconscious mind has got the question, and then it starts going through the libraries of all of these memories and emotions. And as you start exploring this, you'll get memories pop up. Events will pop up in your mind. That's why you need the attention, the conscious attention to catch them. The files will just come up. An event will pop up from your past and you'll be like, oh, I remember that when I was a kid. I haven't thought about that in a long time. It's because you've had the conscious intention to go access it. And then you have to have the attention to catch it. So as you've caught it now, you'll start to see conversations from the past and all of this, then you start lifting these security blocks on these folders. And the more you start doing this, the more you can start accessing the deep levels of folders that have been locked in you for a long, long time. Like I said in the past videos, I had a trauma locked in me for 27 years. One that I was unaware of for 27 years. And as I unlocked that trauma, liberated, weighted, fully just lifted, and I felt 100 pounds lighter. That's how powerful it is, because it's stuck energy, it's stuck emotion. So the more you are going through and accessing these folders, you are transmuting this emotion. You are transmuting the mental and emotional trauma out of your body. You access it, you peel it, and you delete it. Just like a computer, you're deleting files. Delete. So now you go back and speak to that inner child and you explain from your point of view now. You say, and you explain to them that they couldn't see that angle, but you have the ability to explain to them that this is how it was. Because as a child, you don't actually understand fully what is going on. You don't have the full comprehension. So as an adult now, of having these life experiences, you can go back and connect to your inner child and explain to them. So how do you do this? Well, you can write, you can journal to and from your inner child. So you can do it from your inner child to your adult self now, or you can go from adult self to your inner child. What you can also do is load up a photo of your younger self, connect back with them by looking at them, and then sit in a meditation session, and then go back to that event that you want to heal. And then we want to talk to them and explain to them. And as you do that, you'll transmute that. You'll transmute that event. And you will feel that weight lifted off from the memory and the body. But what is actually going on when we're doing this process? Well, we need to understand that past, present, and future is happening simultaneously. Everything is happening all at once. So as you do this healing process of going back to heal your inner child from your present self, you remove the blocks for your future self, because the past self is holding these blocks from the inner child. You go back and liberate that from your current position. You fix the blocks to go forward now. Right, doing this You're freeing limitations, the filters, the blocks from the past, and then allowing your current position to move forward to your highest potential, to move forward in your future without any blocks. So you can be unlimited potential. You can be at your highest version of yourself and dream as big as you want, go after any desire you want. So doing this, you can live from your highest potential going forward because you've removed all the blocks from your past. So in your current position, you're going forward and living in alignment with your true self. So that is how we can access the inner child folder. So this slide from last week's video about Binny's battles with labels, as I did this slide and I finished the video that evening, I actually got a letter from Binny. I got a note from Binny saying thank you for acknowledging me, thank you for speaking up, and thank you for sharing that story. And as I read it back as my human self, I felt liberated. I felt completely like I was having tingles down and I was just goosebumps and everything. So that was a key indication that I had gone back to my past self and healed it. And now that inner child knew that I was waiting for him in this current moment. So it's all happening all at once. So as you do this, you will have first-hand experiences of this and how liberating it is when we go in and put the fire out and unlock our inner child. So I trust you found this video helpful. I hope you go in and start exploring these inner child folders of yours, because truly this is the most important thing we all must do, is healing ourselves, because when we heal ourselves, we heal others around us, right? Your support means a lot to me. My goal is to help as many people get their minds back online so we can have a more compassionate, loving, abundant, conscious world going forward. So please consider giving it a like, drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Hit the subscribe button so you can get a notification when I drop new videos. Feel free to reach out and connect with me on all social media platforms. Let's make this journey amazing together, and I will catch you in the next one. Sending you much love and light, my beautiful souls. Goodbye.